Hey there guys, Mooky here, and I'm back with another part of What If Izuku Was Trained by all the Shonen Jump protagonists. This is part 7. In the last part, Izuku and everyone in Class 1A did their hero training, with Izuku and Ochako winning their fight against Bakugo and Ida with no problem whatsoever. However, Izuku and Bakugo had to settle a certain thing, with Izuku showing him what his quirk can truly do, and the skills he's learned to get as strong as he is now, with Bakugo learning to let go of his pride and realize that there are things bigger than him now, and decides to accept one for all from All Might. Any rate, with that said, let's get into this. After that little encounter with Bakugo, Izuku is glad that Bakugo has finally let go of his pride, towards him at least. However, Izuku knows that Bakugo is not going to let go of his pride to anyone else around him. But as long as he doesn't bother him about this, it's already okay. Besides, I can tell that he's going to get stronger in the future. There's no doubt about that. Once he finally accepts one for all from All Might. With that, Izuku heads back home, where he decides to, go for a little vigilante training, actually. Realizing that he wasted a little bit of chakra with fighting against, Bakugo, and he decides to only use 2 of his vigilante cells, being Ion and the Ronin, as he creates the clones, and they soon switch into their vigilante outfits. As soon they head out, with Izuku just relaxing at home. A couple hours later, they soon finally arrive back, with Izuku actually sleeping, with the Ronin basically didn't really have any problems. However, Ion did, as he wonders what his clone's been through, as they released the jutsu, with the memories of his clone flooding into him, is that when he was fighting against a couple of low-level villains, with using his triggers and also using his breathing styles as well, he actually went against somebody that he never thought he would, that being Maruka, of course, one of the top tier pros in Japan, as she wanted to stop. Since vigilante work is illegal, she tried to stop him, but the fight kind of escalated quite a bit, causing one hell of a scene around the area, where everyone began filming, and even the news got involved as well, with Ion realizing that he needed to get out of here as soon as possible. So he only had one option. Basically, he bailed out. An ability that using his Tryon, basically dispersing himself if he takes enough damage or he needs to retreat as soon as possible. For Izuku, fighting against fellow heroes he's seriously against that. Even though he's a vigilante, he doesn't want to hurt them one bit. The next day, after waking up, he walks his way to school. As soon he looks on the news, that he notices that it's an interview with Maruka, as many people were talking about the new vigilantes that have been surfacing all around Japan, around Masafu and other cities around in the Tokyo area, being his vigilante selves, Ion, the Ronin, and the Shadow, with Maruka basically talking about her experience fighting against Ion. And she began explaining, saying that she enjoyed the fight against him, even though he's basically breaking the law and using his quirk without permission. She realized that what he's doing may be good, but the main reason she looks for taking him down so she can have a good fight with him again, saying that he was really fun to take on. As Izuku gets quite a bit embarrassed from that kind of comment and realizes that he needs to be more, well, careful when he uses his clones for vigilanteism. Even once they are destroyed, if they take any enough damage and they disappear, he won't receive any knowledge from them because he has to be the one to release the jutsu. If they're destroyed before he releases it, he's most likely he won't have any knowledge whatsoever to gain from the experiences. Finally getting off the train, he soon sees Bakugo as saying, "Hey, Kachan!" As Bakugo saying, "Oh, Izuku." As he's saying, "It's alright, you could still call me Deku." Like I said, saying, "Alright, fine. Deku, it's good morning." Saying, it's actually kind of feel weird you not insulting me or calling me annoying or saying leave me the hell alone. Saying, "Hey, I'm trying to change, alright? Do you really want me to keep on yelling at you? Are you some kind of masochist or something?" Saying, nope, this is good. This is actually, I prefer this way more if I'm going to be honest. It's just a little weird, that's all. Is soon saying, "I just want to tell you I did tell All Might I wanted one for all. And he actually gave it to me." And saying, "Hey, congrats. So how?" "I'd rather not talk about it." Is saying, "What do you mean?" I remember All Might saying that for you to have his quirk, you had to ingest his DNA. Saying, "I don't want to talk about it, Deku. Drop it." Saying, "Alright, fine. I'm good." As they make it into the classroom, they soon take their seats. As Kaminari and Sero, alongside Mineta, and even Mina and Toru began talking about what happened last night, about the battle between Izuku's Ion Vigilante self versus Miriko. As soon with Mina actually bringing up her phone, showing that they got a picture of what he really looks like. As Izuku looks at it saying, "Oh shit, they really got a picture of me this time?" Even though he's basically freaking out internally, on the outside he still looks pretty calm and saying, "Well, guess so. Guess it can't be helped." As he's still freaking out, screaming, as he screams as loud as he can in his mind, hoping that they don't try and figure something out. Even though he's wearing a hoodie and a mask at the same time, and a mask covering his mouth, he's still wearing his border jacket. Even though there's no logo like border in the world of My Hero Academia, it's still pretty hard not to figure out. Soon, Aizawa comes in the door saying, "Everyone take your seats now." As soon everyone heads back into their seats, when them being quiet, with Aizawa basically explaining what they're going to be doing today. But before that, he decided to tell everyone what about their results during their battle training with All Might yesterday. As he basically gave some criticism and basically tell them what they need to improve on. With Izuku, he doesn't really say anything. As for Bakugo, he gives him the same speech as like before, basically telling him that he's talented and skilled. Did not let one loss get him down. As normally Bakugo would basically blow up or get pissed off, but saying, "Yeah, I will improve. I mean it. I swear on it." As everyone's shocked, as for the past couple of days, Bakugo has been nothing but blown up on people. As for Izuku, just smiles, saying he really is trying to change. And that's good. With that, Aizawa soon says, "Now time for the most important thing." As he tells them that they need to choose a class rep. As everyone soon says that it's just regular school stuff. With everyone basically shouting out that they pick them. As normally Izuku would say that being class rep would be a pain, but being in UA, it'd be the best way to prove to future agencies that for them to apply for, that they have good leadership skills, and that they can be relied on and trusted in dangerous situations. Ida soon basically calmed everyone down, as Izuku saying, I agree with, yeah, I think it's best if we all just voted for ourselves. I mean, sure, it's only been a couple of days since we just met each other, so why don't we choose on who to vote for? Whoever we can vote for ourselves. However, if we vote for somebody who has the most votes, proving that they're the best one to lead our class. Don't you all agree? As everyone says, well, yeah, I can agree with that. Soon they began voting, with the one with the highest votes being Izuku, and second being Momo, just like in canon. As for Izuku, he isn't as nervous like he would be in canon. As anything, he's actually not really that surprised. However, as for Momo, she is wanting to actually get to become the class representative for Class 1A instead. But even Ida's kind of pissed. Bakugo would have normally blown up, but isn't pissed after all, saying that Izuku deserves it because instead of getting 3 votes, he actually got 4. The fourth one being, well, Bakugo, of course. After this, everyone says that they're okay with Izuku being class president, as they think that he's pretty reliable, and and not only that, he can give quite the speeches if they're gonna be honest. As Izuku thinks that maybe he thinks his speeches are kind of cringy or kind of annoying in a way. But he is just going to try to speak what's on his mind, that's all. Soon after, Aizawa was saying, okay, Midoriya and Yaoyorozu would be your class representatives. Soon, I want the two of you to stay after class a little bit, so I can tell you what the two of you will be doing. Not only that, as soon, President Mike soon comes and saying, it's time. Enough of that, Aizawa. It's time for their first period. Time for English. So let me work my thing. As soon as I was saying, whatever, I'm out of here. A couple hours later, it's now lunchtime, as Izuku isn't really bothered about the whole him being chosen as class representative, but he's still wondering on who of the other people chose to vote for him, especially the fourth vote. He knows that one of the votes was, well, Chaco, of course, as the second vote most likely would have been Bakugo, and the third vote was him. But who was the fourth? As he soon thinks that, hey, Ida, did you vote for me? As saying, yes, I actually did. With Ochako saying, really? But didn't you want to vote for yourself? I mean, didn't you want to become class rep so badly? You kind of look the part, with both Izuku and Bakugo saying looking the part, as Bakugo says, come on, round face, stop thinking like that. Just because somebody looks the part doesn't mean they're right for it. Think about that. And he's saying, round face? As Izuku tells her, don't let it get to you. He always gives people weird nicknames, makes it easier to remember them. After hearing this, Bakugo was about to get a little bit pissed, but realized that, it's just a habit. That's all. Don't take it too damn personally. Got it. After hearing that, both Ochako and Ida saying, okay, as Ida soon says, well, of course, I did want to become class rep as much as anybody, but wanting the job and being suited for it are two completely different things. After hearing this, Izuku and Bakugo looked at each other, saying, as Izuku saying, Ida, are you related to a hero by any chance? As Ida saying, oh, of course, I didn't think you know. As soon saying, wait, really? Are you rich, Ida? As saying, no, I'm still It's nothing like that. As he asked them, tell me, has any of you heard about the turbo hero Ingenium? As Izuku basically hears that, as Bakugo saying, oh boy, here we go. As soon Izuku saying, I know about Ingenium. He's a young pro who has over at least 100 psychics at his agency. As soon Ida saying, he's my older brother, and as his youngest brother, I wish to strive just to be just like him. It's just, the Ingenium name has been passed down my family for years, and someday I wish to be worthy of that name as well. As Izuku hearing this, thinking, just like his masters, each one of them were like his friends, his older brothers, people who looked after him for so long. He can't help but to feel a kinship towards Ida. Soon after, an alarm began sounding as everyone begins thinking what's going on, with Ida asking a third year. As soon he tells him that it's most likely an intruder's on the grounds, which has never happened ever in UA's history. With that, everybody begins freaking out as soon an intercom and saying to orderly fashion to head back to their classrooms, with everyone freaking out as everyone tries to be pushing and shoving, trying to get out of the lunchroom. With that, Izuku thinking, this is insane. What makes you think? Why would there be? As soon he tries to sense presence, thinking if there's anybody on the campus, they would have an ill intent to get on. As he doesn't sense any hostile presence near him. If anything, all he senses is all the presence outside, most likely being the media as usual. As he realizes they're on the campus grounds. God damn it! You gotta be kidding me! As soon he's soon pushed nearing the window, thinking, well, that helps. As he soon jumps and lands on the glass with his chakra, began walking on it as he heads to the nearest exit. While doing this, he soon lands on a small ledge near the exit, as he soon takes a deep breath and screams out, everyone, please calm down. It's not a villain attack or anything like that. It's just the media. They got on the campus and that's it. As soon, many people looked at the windows and realized that he's telling the truth. With that, everyone began calming down. As soon, Izuku thought this, thinking, well, that takes care of that. However, for a split second, he felt another presence. He wasn't trying to, but for a split second, he felt a dark, sinister presence nearby, and it's still in the school. As soon, he jumps down, as Ida, Ochako, and Bakugo began coming up to him, wanting to basically tell him, nice job for doing it. I says, yeah, thanks, but I gotta go. As he soon walks through the gate as fast as he can, without anybody, while they were thinking, what's with him? As he heads close by where the presence is, it feels like it's slipping away. As soon, he enters the faculty room, as he realizes, wait, what the hell? As it looks like a dark portal with a man with light blue hair entering it, as he thinks, an NPC? But for sure, none of them were supposed to show up at this time. As soon, Izuku tries to say, wait, come back! Who are you? Soon, the portal closes, as he thinks, damn it, what the actual hell? That was the presence I was sensing. Were they the one? Did they use the media to get in here? As soon he tries looking out, he heads to the entrance of the UA, as he sees that there's that the giant gate used to basically close off the building is basically gone. Like, not even there anymore. More like disintegrated. As he wonders, What the actual hell? That's not right. Soon, right after classes began ending, and him and Momo are basically told by Aizawa what they'll be doing as class reps. He soon began explaining to Aizawa what he saw and who he saw in the teacher's office while everything was going on. With that, Aizawa soon says, "I'll try and look into it, Midoriya, but you don't have to worry too much about it." As Izuku saying, "What do you mean I don't have to worry about it? Are you kidding me? Somebody came into the school and had a quirk that allowed them to transport in and out. And not only that, they weren't a student at that. They almost looked like they were at least in their early 20s. That's all I can say. I only saw their appearance shortly. They had like blue hair and they also had red eyes. Not only that, they had a murderous dark aura to them." As Aizawa hearing this thinking, okay, I get it, Midoriya. Like I said, we'll look into this, but you don't need to worry too much. It's saying, basically telling both Izuku and Momo that they can head back home now. With that, Izuku is still pretty worried, with Momo asking Midoriya, "Did you really see somebody there? I mean, I doubt that it would be something important saying, 'I know what I saw, Yaoyorozu.' I mean it. I could sense their presence was so unnerving out of everyone else's here. Sure, Kachan has a threatening aura, but it's not murderous, even though he always says he'll kill somebody. It's just more of a threats and intimidation tactic. That's just what he always did. But this was literally a murderous intent, which he's only felt a couple of times while he was training in multiple worlds." As Momo realizes that Izuku is something different, something more than what he leads on to be, but she can't put anything to it just yet. On that day, Izuku decided not to bring out his vigilante sides today, not to go on night patrol, mostly due to let the heat die down on them for at least a little bit, for the time being at least. So, however, on the next morning, Izuku and everyone in Class 1A were told by Aizawa that they'll be having rescue training for their hero class this time. And not only that, they'll also have 2 extra teachers besides just All Might, being Mr. Aizawa and another teacher that works well in rescue training. As Izuku thinks, wait, why would they add 2 extra teachers? I mean, another teacher that specializes in rescue training, I get, but Mr. Aizawa as well? While thinking this, he still is able to concentrate on this, with Bakugo looking at Izuku, knowing that he is concentrating, but there's something about him that he doesn't seem like he's his usual self. As not only that, Aizawa also explained that they'll be able to wear the hero costume, but if they haven't got the feel of it just yet, then it's just best that they wear their gym uniforms instead. Soon after, with multiple classes ending, it's time for their hero class, with them taking a bus to an off-site facility for their rescue training. Izuku asks everybody that they can now get on the bus, as everyone takes their own seats, just like they would, as Izuku sits near, Ochako and also Ida on his right, while Tsuyu and Kirishima are on his left, with Bakugo sitting right in front of Izuku instead of in the back of the bus like he normally would. On the bus ride to the USJ, they began actually talking amongst each other and also seeing on how popular each one of them would be based on their quirks and mostly their personalities as well. As Tsuyu basically says that Izuku's quirk personality would actually make him like one of the top heroes, if anything, with most, and not only that, even Shoto and Bakugo. However, Kaminari basically makes the same comment as he did, basically saying there's no chance Bakugo would be pretty popular, given his personality. With Bakugo still getting pretty pissed off with that comment, saying, "What the hell did you say, you bastard? Shut the hell up!" As soon Sero saying, "I think that says it all." With Shoto looking at Izuku, with him thinking, "Midoriya, there's something about him. Normally, he would seem more positive and willing to talk in the conversation. But right now, it seems like he's in his own little world." As Izuku he was paying attention to the conversation, but deep down he was still thinking about the person that was in the teacher's office yesterday during lunch. As he wonders, what the hell did they get to cause such a huge distraction that they did yesterday during lunch, using the media as well, hoping that he can talk to All Might as soon as they get to their destination. Soon after, everyone gets off the bus, counting Izuku, and soon enters, where they see the space hero 13, as both Izuku and Ochako began fanboying and fangirling over the rescue space hero. As Ochako makes the comment that 13 is her favorite hero, as Izuku says the same thing. With Ochako's face is pretty close to Izuku, with her blushing a little bit, as she begins liking Izuku a lot more quicker, but doesn't know it yet. With soon 13 began explaining the reason behind the USJ, that it's this facility where they'll be practicing in many rescue situations, being natural disasters and stuff like that. As Izuku looks around and can also feel everything else around him by using his Cosmo, realizing that there are a lot of scenarios in rescue situations here in the USJ, and yet there's so much room for it though. As Izuku began feeling something that was off. Not only All Might wasn't there, as he asked this, with 13 pulling up the number 3, with Bakugo also noticing this, with him coming up to Izuku saying, "Hey, Deku, did you notice that?" As saying, "Yeah, she put up 3 fingers. It's most likely some of the staff may know about All Might's condition as well, besides just the 2 of us," with Bakugo nodding, hoping that the number 1 hero would show up quick, thinking that this is going to be boring without him. As for Izuku, that presence that he feels, something feeling eerie in the air, as soon as 13 and Aizawa basically tells everyone to prepare for rescue training. A black gate soon opens in front of the entrance of the USJ, as soon they see there's of eyes, and then multiple people coming out of it. As Kirishima says, "Hey, aren't we supposed to do rescue training? Are we doing battle training again?" As Izuku basically saying, "Damn it, looks like I was right again." As he soon steps in front of Aizawa and 13, as Aizawa saying, "Midoriya, what are you?" "Mr. Aizawa, Miss 13, I think it's best that you take everyone and get them out of here as soon as possible." As saying, "What? Why are you? These are actual villains, and I think they're the very people that snuck into UA yesterday." After that, everyone in class hearing what Izuku said, surprised, even Bakugo, with Momo, who talked to Izuku at the end of the day, realized that he was right, with a man with hands coming out of the gate saying, "Hello, UA students. My name is Tomura Shigaraki, and we are the League of Villains, and we're here to kill All Might." And there, Izuku began having that of a threatening aura once hearing that. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. And this is also the end of Shonen Jump Deku month, since this is the last one before the end of December. So we're back to the same once a month schedule. Understand, guys? So yeah, it can't be helped. At any rate, this is Mooky, signing out. Later.